Okay, so today we're doing a deep dive into Think and Grow Rich.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. It's, a classic for a reason. And we're going to kind of go behind the scenes like we're having a conversation with somebody who just finished the book, and they're like, oh my gosh, I got to tell you the best parts.
Yeah, it's a really interesting book. And I think especially looking back at it now from, almost 100 years later,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy how much of it still resonates and is relevant to today.
Right. And like when it first came out, it was hugely influential.
Oh, yeah.
So let's jump into it. One of the things that I found so interesting was this idea that success isn't just about like hard work or hustle.
Right.
It's about like thinking like someone who is already successful,
Yeah.
like embody it.
Yeah.
But like, how do you actually do that?
No, and that's one of the things that Napoleon Hill does so well is he breaks it down into like a formula or almost like a scientific approach to success.
Mhm.
So he doesn't just say, think positive thoughts and you'll be rich. Right. There's a lot more to it than that. He talks about this idea of a wealthy mindset, and there are all these different elements that go into it.
Okay.
He talks about desire and faith and specialized knowledge and organized planning and persistent action.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot there. But the idea is that all of these things work together.
Right.
It's about aligning your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions.
Gotcha. So it's not just like, oh, I want $1 million.
Exactly.
I'm just going to like sit here and wish for it.
Yeah, it's not magic.
Right.
There's a lot of personal responsibility involved.
Right. So you're talking about desire there.
Yeah.
And I know that like the source material really emphasizes desire.
Yes.
But it's not just like wishing for something, right?
Right.
It's more than that.
It is. He calls it burning desire.
Okay.
And he actually says it should be so intense that it borders on obsession.
Ooh.
It's not like, oh, it would be nice to have a yacht or it'd be nice to have $1 million.
Yeah.
It's like this driving force, this burning desire that pushes you to do whatever it takes.
Okay, so like what are some examples of that? Like how does that actually manifest in the real world?
So I think a great example is like, if you think about any entrepreneur or anyone who has achieved a high level of success in any field, they usually have this like fire in their belly.
Yes.
They have this like drive that just pushes them forward.
Right. And they don't accept no for an answer.
Exactly. They don't give up easily.
So that brings me to this idea of autosuggestion.
Yes.
Which is, I got to be honest, it sounds kind of hokey
Yeah, I can see that.
when you first hear it. Like it sounds like some kind of mental trick.
Yeah, it does sound a little bit like mind control or something.
Like reprogramming your brain.
But it's actually a very powerful technique.
All right.
And Hill actually lists it as one of the 13 principles of success in the book.
Oh, wow.
So the basic idea is that you're feeding your mind positive affirmations about your goals
Okay.
over and over and over again until they become ingrained in your subconscious mind.
So you're basically like telling yourself that you're already successful.
Right. And the idea is that if you do this consistently, it will actually start to influence your behavior.
Okay. I can kind of see how that would work.
Yeah, and it can help you to overcome self-doubt and negative beliefs that might be holding you back.
So I think a lot of people hearing this would say, well, okay, this all sounds great in theory, but is it really that simple?
Right. I think that's a valid question.
Like, can you really just think your way to wealth and success?
Well, no, not exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Hill definitely emphasizes that action is crucial.
Okay.
It's not enough to just sit around and visualize your goals.
Okay.
You actually have to go out and do something.
Right.
He talks about the importance of acquiring specialized knowledge.
Okay.
So becoming an expert in your field, whatever that may be.
So like actually taking courses or going to school or...
Yeah, exactly. Or reading books, attending seminars, whatever it takes to become really good at what you do.
Gotcha. So you're not just like thinking about it. You're actually putting in the work to learn.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
And he also talks about the importance of having a detailed plan,
Cool.
like a roadmap to guide your actions. So it's not just about taking random action, it's about taking focused action towards a specific goal.
So being organized about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then the third piece of that is persistence.
Right.
So you can't just take action once and then give up.
Give up. Right.
You have to be persistent and keep going even when things get tough.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and he actually shares a lot of stories in the book about people who faced setbacks and failures, but they didn't give up, and eventually they achieved their goals.
Right. And like we were talking about earlier with the burning desire, that's part of it too, right?
Exactly. It's that burning desire that keeps you going when everyone else would have quit.
Right. So it's not just about like being stubborn or something. It's about having that drive to like see it through.
Yeah, it's about knowing what you want and being willing to do whatever it takes to get it.
Okay, so we've talked about desire and autosuggestion and action and persistence.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that's like really important to this like science of success, as we're calling it?
Well, one thing that he talks about a lot is the power of the subconscious mind
Okay.
and how it can either work for you or against you.
Hmm.
So if you're constantly thinking negative thoughts and doubting yourself,
Right.
your subconscious mind is going to believe that, and it's going to make it harder for you to achieve your goals.
Right, like a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of.
Exactly. But if you can train your subconscious mind to believe that you are successful and that you can achieve your goals,
Yes.
then it will actually start to work for you and help you to achieve those things.
Wow, that's powerful. So it sounds like, we've really kind of hit on the main points of this.
Yeah, I think so.
But, this whole idea of thinking like a wealthy person,
Right?
it makes me wonder, like, could we apply that to other areas of life?
That's a really interesting question.
Like, could you think like an athlete to reach peak fitness?
Yeah.
Or think like a confident person to boost your self-esteem?
I think absolutely. And that's kind of the beauty of Hill's work, is that it's not just about money.
Right.
It's about understanding the power of your mind and how you can use it to achieve anything you want in life.
I think that's a great takeaway
Yeah.
and a great place to end our deep dive.
For sure.
So if you're interested in learning more about this, definitely check out the book.
Definitely.
There's a reason it's still so popular almost 100 years later.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I think that's it for today.
Awesome.
Thanks for joining me.
It was a great conversation.
Me too. I love chatting about this stuff.
Likewise.
All right, we'll see you next time.